'Twas a winter night in New York, the kind of night when skyscrapers glowed like iron towers and the city thrummed under the hum of neon. On Fifth Avenue, the United States Federal Bank stood as an untouchable fortress. Marble walls, glass doors with brass framing, and the kind of security that bragged silently, "We can never be broken." But that night, the bank was broken. A dozen armed robbers stormed through, masked and ruthless, their leader barking crisp orders in Spanish. At their forefront was a woman with sharp eyes and a red jumpsuit. The world once feared her name, whispered across Europe. In this dramatized tale, she had crossed continents. Tokyo, the fiery spirit of the Money Heist crew. "Movimiento, rápido," she ordered, pushing hostages to the ground. But New York was not Madrid, and this time someone else had already swung into the shadows above them. Because when alarms howled into the winter sky, a figure perched on the marble columns outside, Spider-Man, lenses narrowing, a single thought in his head: not my city, not my bank, not tonight. Spider-Man launched down in one blur of red and blue, smashing through the shattering glass doors. Bullets cracked instantly, weds fired faster, guns yanked from hands, thugs slammed against pillars, the hostages shielded with silk barricades. The robbers recoiled, their plan shredded in seconds. But Tokyo, calm, ferocious, cunning, didn't flinch. She stood in the center aisle, her mask off, face revealed. Unlike the others, she wanted Spider-Man to see her. "Spider-Man," she said coolly, Spanish accent thick but deliberate. "I was told you'd come. Good. I wanted you here." Spider-Man tilted his head. "You fly across the Atlantic just to ruin my evening?" Tokyo smirked faintly. "Not ruin. Test." It was then Spider-Man noticed. This wasn't a random robbery. The explosives at the vault weren't crude. They were precise, timed, expertly calibrated. Whoever orchestrated this wasn't just after cash. They were after chaos. And Tokyo wasn't running it alone. She had her own secret mission, one she wasn't willing to share. Before he could react, the thugs fueled the chaos, smoke bombs filling the marble hall. Vision blurred, hostages screamed. Tokyo vanished into the haze, disappearing deeper into the bank. Peter cursed under his breath, his web shooters clicking hot. If this wasn't about money, then what was it? Far below the vault, in subterranean steel chambers, Tokyo's voice echoed into her earpiece. Phase 2 begins. Spider-Man is here, just as expected. Stick to timeline. Spider-Man followed the trail, stumbling into the smoke-soaked corridor. Shapes blurred, his spider sense tingling uncontrollably. A tripwire snapped. Boom. An explosive trap tore through the marble, collapsing half the staircase. He caught himself mid-air, Spider-Man's jaw clenched under the mask. "You think I'm gonna play by your script? Wrong city, wrong hero." He fired 2 webs, yanking the pistol clean, pinning her sleeve to the vault door. But Tokyo didn't flinch. Her lips curled into a smile. "You think I don't know who you are?" she whispered. "Peter Parker. You're predictable. That's why I came here. That's why he sent me." Peter's heart jolted. He? Who? But before he could press Alarms wailed louder. In the vault behind them, the countdown blinked red. Explosives set for 7 minutes. Not just robbery. This was warfare. The timer on the vault blinked furiously in the gloom. 6 minutes, 59 seconds, counting down toward disaster. The red glow burned across Spider-Man's mask lenses as he wedged Tokyo's wrist tighter to the steel. "You're done," he snapped. "Bank robbery with explosives? That's not just reckless, it's insane. You've put every hostage in danger." But Tokyo's eyes were cold fire as she leaned in close. "You think this is about money? Look harder, Spider-Man." Peter almost laughed bitterly. "Every crook says it's not about the money." Tokyo jerked her chin toward the vault. "That bomb isn't meant to open doors. It's meant to erase data. Every record, every backup, gone in smoke. The United States Federal Bank isn't just a money vault. It's a ghost archive. Identities, black accounts, secret transfers." Spider-Man froze. His spider sense chimed faintly. Not danger exactly, but the whiff of truth. If that data was destroyed, hundreds of investigations could vanish. The rich, the corrupt, scrubbed clean. "This isn't your plan," he growled. "No," Tokyo admitted. "I was sent here. Someone much bigger pulls the strings. I came because I owed a debt. But when I saw the real play, I realized New York needs me to stop it. And you, whether you like it or not." Her words were jagged, but her face was earnest. Spider-Man's heart clenched. He had no reason to trust her, a thief, a killer from across the ocean. Yet, beneath the anger, her eyes carried the same weariness he bore. Someone haunted by choices, by sins that never really left. The clock ticked. 5:12. Peter cursed. "You've got 30 seconds to convince me why I shouldn't web you up and let the NYPD handle this." Tokyo's lips curled in that stubborn smirk of hers. "Because, Nino, your police don't have the codes. The detonator connects to 4 dead switches. Cut one wrong, the others trigger anyway. I was given the sequence. And if I believe you, then we both walk away alive. And maybe we stop something uglier than cash theft." Peter's mind raced. He hated it, but she wasn't bluffing. His spider sense didn't flare its usual warning. And the bomb's design, it was too sharp, too militaristic. He sighed under his mask. "Fine, but if you pull one trick," Tokyo grinned, "you'll know, and we'll both be ash." He reluctantly yanked her free from the webbing. She shook her sleeve loose, rubbing the sore wrist. For the first time, they weren't predator and prey. They were 2 players against a game board, bigger than either of them. They moved as a mismatched duo into the vault chamber. The massive steel room hummed with servers, wiring, crates, more like a digital cathedral than a vault. On the floor, blocks of C4 strapped to server racks, blinking furiously. ... Peter Parker, genius with chemicals and electronics, wasn't working alone. "Hold the stabilizer," she said firmly. "Got it," Peter muttered. "On 3. 1, 2. Sparks fizzed as the cut was made. The timer slowed, jumping back precious seconds. Tokyo exhaled sharply. Good. Again. But just as their rhythm began, gunfire cracked across the steel chamber. Sparks showered. From the vault entrance, a new squad rushed in. Men in black tactical armor, faces hidden. Spider-Men lunged instinctively, spinning webs like furious lightning, disarming the first two. But another raised a strange device, jamming his web shooters mid-shot. They sputtered uselessly. "Great. Jammer tech," Peter muttered. Tokyo fired back with lethal precision, her pistol smacking sparks off armor plates. But the squad advanced, drilling both of them back into the vault's corner. From behind the soldiers, a voice echoed, cold and electronic. "Spider-Man, Tokyo, both pawns in the same play." The figure stepped forward, masked, armored, bearing the insignia of an unknown syndicate. Whoever Tokyo answered to, this was their true hand. "You're cleaning the slate," the figure hissed. "Power comes from erasing history, and history ends tonight." The countdown plunged past 1:58. Pinned against the rack, Peter's chest hammered. He had no webs. Tokyo had one clip left. The explosives blinked like a heartbeat, about to flatline. "Any genius ideas?" she snapped. Peter's jaw tightened. "Yeah, we trust each other." For the first time, Tokyo's smirk faltered. Then she nodded. "Then we cut together." Spider-Man leapt, tackling one soldier aside with raw strength, buying seconds. Tokyo darted for the charges, her hands flying across wires. He shouted to her, "Red first," then the twin black. Gunfire chewed marble. Peter flipped, grabbing a rifle with his bare hands, hurling it back. His shoulders burned. He wasn't graceful, wasn't quipping. He was surviving, fighting alongside the world's most unlikely ally. Tokyo screamed. "Last switch!" Peter slammed into the armored leader, both rolling across the marble floor. Sparks flew. Fists cracked. The leader snarled, "You can't stop the erasure." Spider-Man growled back, rage burning clear. "Maybe not. But I can stop you." Tokyo's knife sliced the last wire. The timer froze. 0, 0, 0. Silence. The chamber was deafening in its stillness. Tokyo panted heavily, stray hair clinging to her face. Spider-Man crawled off the pinned leader. Webs finally recharged, snapping him tight against the wall. For a breath, they just looked at each other. Predator and prey turned partners in survival. "You did it," Peter whispered. "No," Tokyo said softly. "We did." Sparks fizzled from broken cables, smoke drifting like a ghost through the vault chamber. The hostages upstairs wept in relief as sirens wailed closer outside. The remaining masked soldiers were tangled in webbing, bound in crimson silk, pinned helpless to marble columns. The armored leader cursed through clenched teeth, silenced further by another swift roll of web. Spider-Man leaned against a cracked pillar, lungs heaving, his mask tilted toward Tokyo, who sat on the cold marble, hair disheveled, chest rising and falling like a storm had passed through her. For a moment, both were silent. Two warriors from entirely different worlds, now bound by survival. Finally, Tokyo spoke, her voice quiet. almost human for once. I didn't come to steal gold, Spider-Man. I came to erase a ledger. The kind of ledger that protects politicians, arms dealers, billionaires. They wanted me to wipe it clean. But when I saw, the people who'd suffer were not the guilty. It was families, workers, students, the poor. Once again, the rich buy their salvation on the bones of others. Spider-Man's jaw tightened, his chest still hammered from adrenaline. And you agreed to it once. Her eyes flickered, guilt unhidden. Yes, and maybe I'll pay for that all my life. But tonight, I chose differently. Peter watched her carefully. His spider sense, that inner compass, wasn't screaming anymore. For better or worse, her words felt real. Boots thundered on the floor above. Law enforcement finally flooding the bank. The lights of the NYPD cast long beams through the shattered atrium. As commanding voices barked, "Clear the building." Spider-Man groaned. Great. Now comes the part. Tokyo smirked, despite the exhaustion, grabbing her discarded mask and sliding it back over her face. Same in Madrid. You save them, they still hunt you. Peter launched a web to the corner, offering her a line. We're not sticking around for the Q&A. They swung and sprinted through debris, weaving past columns, bursting out onto the freezing rooftop where the last of dawn painted the horizon pink. For a moment, Tokyo paused at the edge, catching her breath. From up here, the city didn't look like chaos. It looked endless, alive. New York, she whispered. It feels like Madrid. Beautiful, brutal. Spider-Man gave a small laugh under the mask. Yeah, just with worse pizza. They perched together on the bank's rooftop, the chaos below fading under the rising sun. ... Tokyo turned, her face half hidden by the mask's shadows. You don't have to trust me, Spider-Man. But tonight proved something. You and I, we stand in shadows for people who'll never know us, who'll never thank us, who'll only curse us when they need someone to blame. Peter stayed quiet. Then finally, maybe that's what makes it real. If heroism was about applause, it wouldn't matter. It matters because it costs us, and we do it anyway. Tokyo studied him for a moment. Then she nodded. Maybe we're not that different. Maybe, Peter said softly. But next time, try knocking on the door before you rig a building to blow. For the first time in days, Tokyo laughed. A real laugh. Deal. Elise lights began to reach the rooftop edges. Helicopters swirled nearby. It was time. Spider-Man fired a web, dangling into the skyline. He glanced one last time at Tokyo. You'll disappear again. Name erased. But tonight, you did something right. Don't forget it. Tokyo pulled her mask fully on. Her eyes, sharp but softened, met his. Neither will you. And with that, she vanished into the city's veins, like a ghost slipping between dawn and memory. Spider-Man vaulted into the rising sun, his silhouette cutting across morning light. Down below, headlines would never know the truth. They would write, Spider-Man stops U.S. bank robbery. But hidden in the story lived another truth, that on one impossible night, Spider-Man and Tokyo stood side by side, saving a city that would never even believe they had once fought together. This dramatized story reminds us, heroes and villains are never drawn in pure black and white. Sometimes, those who are broken or haunted still choose right when it matters. And sometimes, the strongest choice Spider-Man or anyone can make is standing beside someone they thought was an enemy, risking belief and trust in the hope of saving many more lives. True heroism isn't about reputation. It's about the choice you make in the darkest hour, even if no one ever knows. So if you're watching this, remember, you don't need webs or masks or red jumpsuits to be extraordinary. You need only the courage to make one decision, the right one, when it matters most. Soft music rises. Fade. Spider-Man swinging into the orange dawn. Tokyo, walking into a crowd on a New